We've been waiting so long for new music from her. We've been waiting so long to see her again. She has been out building an empire with the Fenty worlds. And I think now this is her reintroduction to music. And so I'm very excited. I'm wondering who will the guest be, because I think she will have some very high-powered guests. I know that she's in the stadium and has begun rehearsals. The question is, what kind of heat will she bring?
Super Bowl greatest commercial of the decades airs on CBS on February 8th. So what can fans expect from the show that's going to be interactive?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out which decade had the best Super Bowl commercials. Think about it. Throughout time, there have been great commercials, but if you group them by decade, you see kind of a trend. They're the early ones with John Madden and Mean Joe Greene in the Coca-Cola ad. You jump to the 90s and superstars and supermodels, Cindy Crawford in the Pepsi ad, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird. You jump to the 2000s, it's Animals, the Clydesdales and other things. The 2010s, you get the user-submitted ads from Doritos. So there's always a trend. You see all these different ads over time. But which decade had the best? And that's what we're going to figure out. We'll take you on a walk down memory lane, and you will get to relive some of the greatest commercials ever. And then there'll be a QR code at the end of the show that you can scan on screen, and you can vote, because who knows better than the people who sat at home and watched all these commercials? We all watched the Super Bowl. We all know these ads.
Absolutely. And you're going to provide sideline commentary along with Akbar Gbajabiamila. Which commercial do you think has the best chance to win the competition? Do you have a favorite Super Bowl commercial?
Let me say this, okay? I have about 20 favorites, because as you watch this show, you will start seeing commercials. You'll be like, yes, that was my favorite. That's one of my favorite. Oh my gosh, I can't forget that one. So that's where it gets crazy and a little confusing, but so much fun. And, I'm also going to talk about the ads for this year. And I'll give you a sneak peek at the new crop and the stars, the A-list stars that are starring in many of these ads. Also, we'll go behind the scenes with Rob Gronkowski as he prepares for his kick of destiny for FanDuel. He has one kick that he can make in front of a live audience for $10 million. And we'll take you behind the scenes of his preparations. Has he been partying, or has he been focused? We'll let you know. But when you go back to asking me my favorite ad, I think the most moving ad, when I think of an ad that touched me, was in 2005. I was in Jacksonville in a Sky Suite with a 4-star general when Budweiser premiered its ad of the troops coming home, walking through the airport, and all the folks just stop and give them an applaud. And they applaud for all the troops coming home. And it was such a moment. And watching the general's wife cry, watching the tears well up in his eyes. He's a tough guy. He didn't want to cry in front of me. I almost cried. But that is one that I will always remember, in a moment I will never forget.
You mentioned Rob Gronkowski. You have an exclusive interview with him, and I've seen the commercials with FanDuel, and that's going to be a live commercial when he tries to get that field goal. So do you think he has a shot to make that field goal?
He better. I mean, here's what people don't understand. The dude is a professional athlete, and there is a difference between a normal human being and a professional athlete. And a guy like Gronk, who is just loves to have fun, you have to assume that there were points where he wandered over to the kickers and is like, dude, I can kick as far as you can. Let's go. So I'm expecting him to make it. The shame if he doesn't will live with him forever. Folks will never let him live it down. So I'm betting that Gronk will do it. He's coming in confident. He's coming in with that Gronk swag. So I hope he makes it, because he'll never live it down if he doesn't.
You're absolutely right. I hope he makes it too. And along with the commercials and along with the game, everyone's going to be focusing their attention on the Super Bowl halftime performance led by Rihanna. How excited are you to see her perform? Because it's been a while she's come out with an album. She just had a baby. So how excited are you to see her back in action?
I think the anticipation is what is driving people to watch this, because we've been waiting so long for new music from her. We've been waiting so long to see her again. She has been out building an empire with the Fenty worlds. And I think now this is her reintroduction to music. And so I'm very excited. I'm wondering who will the guests be, because I think she will have some very high-powered guests. I know that she's in the stadium and has begun rehearsals. The question is, what kind of heat will she bring? Listen, last year was incredible. And so this year, to top last year, is going to be a lot. I expect that I think Jay-Z might join her. I really hope that Drake would just pop up for a second. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It definitely will be. And along with your work on Entertainment Tonight, you have an extensive sports background. You worked at ESPN, you worked at other sports.
Thank you for recognizing the sports guy in me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to the big game, who do you think wins? Is it going to be the Eagles or is it going to be the Chiefs?
So I have been inundated by Eagles fans, whether it's Kevin Hart, whether it's Will Smith's crew, all these people. The Eagles fans are the loudest people on the planet. But they have to figure out a way to slow down even an injured Patrick Mahomes. And with 2 weeks to get that leg better, I think he could possibly shred that defense and light them up. The Eagles have to live and die with that defense. And the question is, can that defense stop perhaps the greatest quarterback of his generation? This will be a career-defining moment for Mahomes if he can win this Super Bowl. As for Jalen Hurts, remember the last Eagles quarterback who won a Super Bowl? Yeah, you don't, because he still ain't there. And so that's the thing. I don't know that Jalen Hurts will stick and stay even if he wins a Super Bowl. Hate to hate on that brother who has achieved so much, but my money's on Mahomes.
Absolutely. I see it that way too. Well, Kevin, that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and continued success to you.